So next program in part B, okay, taking a program in part B, that is develop an application to demonstrate the use of asynchronous tasks in an Android. The asynchronous task should implement functionality of a simple moving banner. Okay, we'll see which kind of banner we have to make use. On pressing of the start button, the banner should scroll left to right. Okay, so the direction is mentioned here on click of start button. Okay, and on pressing stop button, the banner message should stop and let the banner message be demonstration of asynchronous task. Okay, they have given a banner message called as demonstration of asynchronous task, and this is text view, and this should be a button, start button and end button. So on clicking of the start button, when you click a start button, the message has to, the message is, what's that message? Demonstration of asynchronous task. This has to move from right to left, left to right, that direction you can mention. And on pressing of end button, it has to stop. Right. Right. So I've just opened one activity, blank activity, ready, and we'll see before starting what is an asynchronous task. Okay. So in Android, an asynchronous task is defined by computation that runs on a background. Okay. So this asynchronous task will be running in the background thread, right? So background thread you all might be noting. So thread is a lightweight process, okay, and whose result is published on the front end. Okay, so that running of banner maybe from many directions is running in the background, that is that should be displayed in the foreground. Okay, asynchronous tasks is defined by three parameters. Okay, three type of values you can take. One is a parameters and progress and a result. Okay, parameter, progress and result. Okay. And it will involve four steps. In case if you are taking any of the progress, it will involve four steps. First one is on pre-execute. I'll just write it here. So one is on pre-execute. This is one step, and one more is do in background. This is another step, and another step is on progress. Right, on progress. Right, this is on progress, and one more is on post execute. On pre execute, on post execute. Right, so these are all the four steps. Right, so we'll have to implement three: on pre execute, on background, do it in background, and post execute you have to execute. So these are all the steps that you have to implement. Okay, so for that we'll take front end. So how the front end GUI will work. So asynchronous task is a text view, then start button and end button, two buttons. So we'll take text view, we'll give it here. Okay, so text view. So we'll give some of the properties here. So we'll give this one as asynchronous task. Right, so we'll take it from align right, Android. Okay, align parent. Right. Okay, so we'll just aligning it, alignment parent bottom, Android, align parent end. Okay, parent end and bottom. So just an alignment process. asynchronous, it's displayed here at the end. Okay, so we'll have to take it at the center, so you can just take those all margins. Okay, so we'll take them on margins, Android. Okay, layout, margin end. So from the end, so we can just take 120 dp, right? So it is here, and we can take Android layout margin from the bottom, margin bottom, from the bottom, because it's being displayed from the bottom. Okay, can take somewhere around, right? So nearly around 600 plus 600 dp. Okay, now it is 600, you can take it 650 here, 650, and you can give asynchronous task, right? So if you want a more uh, text, you can take the Android and right, Android text. You can just take text size. If you want, you can take any kind of text size, right? So that is the first one. Okay, so that display is being done. Now we have to take two buttons. This one is a start button, and the other one is end button. Okay, so button. Okay, so we'll just copy these all to content so that it will be aligned with, right? Now it is aligned. Just you can take layouts, right? So I'm just copying the code so that it's being okay. Now you can just take it below to the left, right? So it is 170 center and little below, right? 500. Right. So this two you can give. So just just check according to the place. You can just give the dps, okay, pixels, display pixels, right? So next one you have to give button. I'll call this one as start, right? So text is start button. Okay, button start, start. So id, button id is button start. Okay, that I have given. Similarly, you can just give it for other one, button stop, right? One more, button. Okay, same content, button. So we'll copy this. So this is button, name is stop, button 2. So I'll just rename this one as button stop, right? So we can give 500. Still it is nearer. Can give stop, right? Right. You are given that button stop, right? So two things have been done now. So the button start, button stop. The two things have been displayed. So next is asynchronous task. You have to take a text view. So this text view will be displayed here, asynchronous task. So on clicking of the button start, I will do some activity here and display the text view. So that is what you have to write here, right? So let's take this one as a marquee text. So marquee is the text which will be displaying going from left to right, right to left. So that is a banner. Marquee. So that is Marquee text. So you can just give any text, Marquee text. So once again, I will copy this values. Right. So I'll just take it into 350 so that it will be displayed just below. Right. Right. And its property. So what has to be displayed here, that will display. Right. So these are all the properties of displaying. Then we'll take what all the properties has to be mentioned. Right. So that is Android. What type of the text has to be? It is elapsed. Right. Ellipse size. Right. So it is Marquee type. Marquee means banner. Okay, moving from one place to another place. And you have to mention the repeat limit also. Repeat limit. So until when it has to. Okay. So that is Marquee repeat limit. So till when it has to Marquee forever. So Marquee forever means it will go on displaying till you make that asynchronous task stop. So that is the Marquee forever. Right. So how we have to scroll. So next one is Android scroll. How we can mention? How can they ask you to take horizontally? Okay, scroll horizontally. How we have to horizontal line? Okay, make it as 2. Okay, so now it will be moving horizontally, left to right, right to left. Right, single line or multi-line can just give. So that is if you want, you can take. If you want only single line to be displayed, you can just make single line, or else you can make it as uh, multi lines also. Single lines and make it as two. Nowadays there is only one line because the text what you have to display is a demonstration of a synchronous task that will be there in only one line. That will be taken as single line. So that is single line demonstration. Okay. So Android text. So what is the text? Text they have asked you to take demonstration of uh, synchronous task. Asynchronous task. Right. Can just mention this asynchronous task. So this is the message that will be displayed. Right. So in case if you wish that has to be made as bold, anything you can take, or a text size. Text size you can mention. Right. If you want, you can take 25 display pixels. Right, pixels. Or else if you want to make them bold, you can just give the properties Android text bold text style. So this is text style. Yes, this is text style, bold or italic, or you can give anything. Right. So and last one very important is Android. You have to make the text. It should not be visible. It should not be visible till you form. Okay, it is best. Right, 300. Right. Okay. So till that asynchronous task is being displayed, it should not be visible. So that is Android. It's visibility. So visibility should be, if you say visible, that demonstration of asynchronous tasks will be visible first only when before you press the start button. So that should not be displayed, means you have to make it as invisible. Okay, so now it is not visible. You can just see the layout here, XML. Okay, design part. It's not visible now. If you make it as visible, okay, see here. Now demonstration of asynchronous task will be displayed. Okay, now they do have to make it as invisible. Okay, so this is the design part, right? Right. So we'll go with the main activity. So yeah, here you have to take most importantly is the three functions. What are those three functions? The three functions are first one is do it in background, pre-execute and post-execute two tasks. So that is to be done on clicking of the button. So just we'll take the buttons now. Right. So what are the things you have to take? So that is text view. So what is the variable type? Text view is Marquee text. So I'll just take it as some variable. Okay. Marquee text. Somewhere any variable you can take. Marquee text. Okay. So and buttons, we do have button and button start and one more button stop. Okay, I'm taking two buttons and the properties of the buttons I will imply on these two variables, button start and button stop. Right. Here, and I have to retrieve that text that is being displayed and store it into the Marquee text. Okay. That you can take here. That is mark text is equal to take, that is from text. So that is text view. It's of text view. It is there in the layout. Find view by id. Okay, find view by id r dot id, right? So r dot id dot, right, Marquee text. So whatever the text you have assigned there, that will be given as a mark text here in this variable, right? This is Marquee text. And similarly the button start. So button start is of which type? Is equal to button. Okay, now it is button type. So once again we'll take find view by id and r dot id dot id dot button start. Okay, now we'll take that, we have taken that button start, right? So next similarly we'll take button stop. Btn button stop is equal to, similarly you can take till here same. Now it is under button stop, right? Now three values have been taken from the layout. Okay, so next we have to do what has to we have to write the functions, what has to be done on button start, button stop. Okay, so we'll take button start, right? So on click button, so that is button start dot set on click listener, right? So what you have to do, you have to create new task. So that is with on click listener. If you write it, so its code will be done. Okay, so what all the things you have to write, you have to do it in this on click listener. So what you have to do in on click listener, we have to make the text should be the text whatever you have taken, right? So that should be done asynchronously. So for that asynchronous task, so we'll take a function. Okay, so that function will do it here. Then we have to run that task. So that is task should be, the task should be executed. So before writing that function, I will just take this. Okay, okay, the task whatever. it has to be executed. So what is the task? This is task should be asynchronous, so we'll write it. So what is that? So variable task. This task is of which type? So this is asynchronous task type. Okay. So we have not taken that. Okay, so that is asynchronous task. Okay, so that is how we have to take this example. Asynchronous task, ASYNC, and task, asynchronous task. Okay, we'll say it. Okay, create. Okay, it is asking me to create the class. We'll say it. Okay, so we'll write it later. So this is asynchronous task, right? So we can write that asynchronous tasks class later. Okay, it is new. Okay, example, yes, asynchronous task, right? Okay, you have to write asynchronous class task for this. Okay, now this is button start. Okay, so what we'll do is shall we write button? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll write the button stop also. Okay, then we can come to button stop. So set on click listener. Okay, similarly we can write new view on click listener. Okay, what here you have to do, that whatever the content you can just see on stop button, the banner message should stop. Okay, the banner message should stop and should not be displayed, right? So for that we have to do is so the mark text. Okay, that is what is the variable you have taken, MR. Okay, so that marquee text set visibility. So I'll make that that should not be, right? So whatever the text that is selected, selected is whatever the text, whatever you have selected, that should be stop. Okay, now it is stopped. Okay, it is stopping and making it not visible. Marquee text and set visibility. Set visibility. Okay, where is it? Okay, you can write visibility. Yes, now visibility. How much time it has to be visible? All the things you have to take. View. In the view, it should be invisible. Right. In, and it's a constant, so it should be written in capital letters. So it is invisible text. So now we have written button start, what has to be done, and button stop, the content. Okay, so here on button start and button stop, the things have been done, and here we have to write the asynchronous task class. In the asynchronous task class, we will have to write three functions: on pre, on post, and in background. So that class will be private. So that private class, okay, private class, that is example. Okay, or else there also you can create a class so that directly the code will be given. Okay, asynchronous task. Right. The same thing, you can just copy this class name so that it will not be right. Right, we can write asynchronous task. Right, it is extends asynchronous tasks, and parameter is the text, what text you are giving. Okay, the sec string. Okay, Okay, because the message what you are giving, so that is of string type. That is string s should be capital, and parameter is string, and it will be taking strings. Okay. Java language is strings, and here okay, the package have been inherited. So Java language, right? So we'll take right. So this is the asynchronous class, or else there also you can, or also there also you can create a class. Okay, instead of writing this, you can write it here. Okay, you can just, if you take us, right, if you click here, instead of taking that, you can take. Okay, just a minute, we can take write that. I'll write it private class example, right, class extends asynchronous tasks. Okay, so the parameters whatever you take, so it is input, and this is processing, and this is result, right? So this is override. Okay, the functions I'm writing override. Right, so here, okay, you can write what you have to do it in a on pre-execute and on post-execute. Okay, so it is protected type, protected on pre spelling on pre-execute, right, on pre-execute, on pre, right, on pre execute, on pre-execute, right, this is a function on pre-execute, right? So here we have to execute this on pre-execute, right, on, yes, there is a function called as on pre-execute, right? This is on pre-execute function. Okay, so on pre-execute, what has to be displayed? So for an just sake of displaying, I'll just display a toast message. Okay, so that after clicking on the button, you will come to know how it is running in the background by just making sure that text message is displayed. So some make text. Okay, get base content, any message that is a base content from asynchronous task. Yes, asynchronous task, right? Asynchronous. Okay, right. Can just give an NOU asynchronous task or something. Okay, task is started, and just give that message. Asynchronous task is started as just a message. Okay, can give toast length, just give short, not show function. It will just show it, right? So we are taking it. It should have been private here, right? Right, something. Okay, so we'll Okay, done. Okay, next this is on P. Okay, similarly, we'll uh, take it for override. Similarly, we can just give what has to be done in a background. So that is protected. So that is protected class. That is string because the result is string. Do in background. So that is a function. Background zero background. Right. So that is background. Right. That is string. Okay. String and strings. Strings. Okay. So that is the doing background. So for this, we'll just check whether it can take any parameter, how much, how many times it has to, how much times it has to stop its seconds. Okay. So now we'll be taking it for 250 millisecond. Okay. That should not sleep. And for its catch block, if it's not then interrupted exception, right. So that is, we'll just message, we'll just print error message, print stack. Okay, print dot stack trace. Yes, right. Right. This is the function for ondoing background. So whenever it is sent to background, 250 millisecond it is waiting, and in case if it is not able to wait and send display, you will just display the error message. Okay. And so we'll take similarly as an task here, we'll take one more task. So that is one on post execute. So that is override. What's the function name? That is once again protected void on post, right, on post execute. Execute. Right, on post execute. So to pass the string, right, string, right. Right. So make sure that you write it, you write everything in the form of indentation, so that will not be able to get errors. Right, on you can just write on and p. Okay, on post execute, on post execute. You can write, okay, on post execute. Okay, on post execute. Right, and here you have to stop the marquee text. So that is marquee text and set visibility. Set visibility to, it has to be visible, stopped and visible, and okay, visibility is view in the view, and visibilities you can just either make it as visible or you can make it as not visible, right? And marquee text set selected, right? You have to make it as true, right? And true means so it is done, right? Right. So understood, this is class for a synchronous class. What has to be done for this? On pre-execute and on post-execute, do it in background. Okay. Right. On pre-execute and on post-execute, This screen is visible. I have saved it with the P6. Okay. Now it is basic. Let's take it P6. Yes, I have taken it as their visible. So it is now demonstration. I will just take. Okay. Right. So this function, okay, this is visible now. If you keep visibility there invisible, you can just, it will be invisible. Okay. Now it is stop button. This is start button. Asynchronous task text view. Okay. Now I will click on this. You can just observe start. Yes. Now asynchronous task is being scrolling. You can just see here. This will be scrolling. Right. Asynchronous task is being scrolled down. So this is running at the background. Now I'll stop button. I'll click on the stop button. Now it is set. I have made it to invisible so that text is invisible here. It is not visible. Then that will be selected text.